Well, good morning, everyone. Lucky Duck with you, your small-time gambler. Monday morning, April 13th, 2020. Today we're going to look at the coronavirus scare that's sweeping the country and the globe. We're going to take a look at the projections that we have, where they came from. We're also going to take a look at how the United States is handling the pandemic versus how Sweden has handled it, and look at the results of both countries thus far. So where did these numbers come from? Well, it came from a gentleman by the name of Neil Ferguson. He is with the Imperial College, London. Ferguson has predicted that when this first started that 2.2 million Americans would die, that 500,000 in the UK would also lose their lives. Also, he's the one that came up with the numbers that if we follow the social distancing and shut down the entire economy, that we would still lose between 100 and 240,000 people. He does have a history on these predictions. Back in 2005, you remember the so-called bird flu. Mr. Ferguson estimated that worldwide 200 million people would lose their lives. Turned out total deaths of the bird flu, 455 people. That's a pretty bad miss. Also, you'll remember the mad cow disease. Ferguson predicted that up to 50,000 deaths would occur from this disease. As it turned out, millions of deaths because of this disease, but that was the cattle. Cattle were slaughtered because of the mad cow disease. Total number of human deaths, 178, another huge mess. Why would we use this man as the source? The numbers we were hearing from all the news agencies, from our government, these were the numbers that were cited when we were told to shelter in place to help limit the spread of this disease. And that's what we have done. We've shut down the economy now for pretty much a month. Sweden, on the other hand, they handled it a more measured approach. They do have in place the no more than 50 people in a group. They have closed down their high schools. They have closed down their colleges. Everything else pretty much is open. If you're at high risk, they suggest that you shelter in place. Other than that, though, the society is open. The economy is percolating. And so they have gone with the herd immunity thesis versus the social distancing, which the United States has applied in our country. So how are we looking? Obviously, the United States has many more people than Sweden does. So the best way, I think, to compare apples with apples is look at the number of cases per million people, and that'll give us a pretty good idea of how we're doing. These numbers are from April the 12th, Easter Sunday. In the United States, 1,693 cases per million, so right at 1,700. Sweden, 1,084 cases per million. So Sweden is a little more effective. Deaths, United States, 67 deaths per million. The Sweden, 91 deaths per million. So Sweden does have a higher death rate. However, they do have universal health care. When you have universal health care, you're going to have a higher death rate. That's something they forgot to put in the pamphlet when they were selling universal health care. Deaths in the last 2 days, this would be April the 11th and April the 12th, which are the latest statistics that we have. The United States has had over 3,300 deaths. In Sweden, there's been 29. Not 2,900, 29 deaths. So the sloped curve that we're talking about here to keep the hospitals from being overrun with patients never materialized because the numbers were very, very high, very overestimated. The 100,000 to 240,000 estimation has been downgraded to 60,000. And if Vegas was open and the over-under, I would bet the under on this one. However, Sweden, 29 deaths the last 2 days. They went with the herd immunity. They had the peak, and now they're on the downside of it. So they will be done with this a lot quicker than we in the States will be. Here in the States, we pride ourselves on liberty. We pride ourselves on freedom. Yet currently for the last month we've been told where it is fit for us to worship and where we cannot worship. Does that not concern you a little bit? We're not able to associate with the people we want to associate with. Should we not be a little concerned about that? And finally, we aren't able to go where we wish, when we wish. That's a concern. It's a concern for me, and it should be a concern for you if you love liberty, if you love freedom. Ben Franklin put it very succinctly. Any society that will give up a little liberty to gain a little security will deserve neither and lose both. Ben Franklin. So this is Lucky Duck, your small-time gambler. Please leave your comments below. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. If you disagree, we'd love to hear from you. Lucky Duck, your small-time gambler. Treat those around you with respect. Be kind to them. We're all under a lot of stress right now. We will get through this. God bless you. God bless America. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.